His signature open.
Brandon, the overseer Tatum. You know, we all know he's one of these alt Smitter Negroes. Because he ain't an alt writer. He just don't know it yet. You know, he's one of these alt Smite Negroes of the Brexit regime. Run around with Candace Owens and Anthony Bryan Logan. You know, that whole lot. The apologist for the system of white supremacy under the guise of personal choice. You know, every drunk had a choice. Every crackhead had a choice. Didn't nobody put that crackhead to your mouth and force you to smoke it? You know, and if you was born with it in your system, somebody did put it to your mouth and make you smoke it. You know, says systemic racism is an excuse for lazy Negroes who want to scapegoat white people for their failures. That crowd. You know, most of us aren't surprised by Candace Owens. Not anymore. You know, we know a bedwinching political whore, you know, when we see one. So it's not surprising the shit that comes out of her mouth and the steps she takes, and it is what it is. I'm not surprised as well at ABL, Anthony Bryan Logan. Why? He really means it. He sleeps, eats, and sleeps that shit. For real. You know, you ask me, he a little nerdy. You know, probably socially awkward in most hood settings. So, you know, he found a home amongst the alt smiters. You know, the educated lame type. You know, and they usually do, you know, have his beliefs. But with Anthony Bryan Logan, you know, it's genuine. Seems natural, right? It's an organic thing with him. It's ingrained in his DNA. But the biggest thing about ABL, he knows he's black. I'll give him that. He knows he's a nigga. But Brandon Tatum, overseer Tatum, why him? What's his agenda? I mean, he says shit how you like, like who are his benefactors? You know, and I found out who his benefactors are. I'm coming with receipts. You know, I know Brandon Tatum's angle. I know who's pulling the puppet strings now. You know, we see him say shit like, damn, Negro, this nigga wholesale shop for his biscuits. He don't shop for his biscuits one at a time. This nigga shop at Sam's Club for his biscuits. Everything wholesale. You know, we saw that recent clip outside the store with that crazy ass white woman screaming, oh, kill niggas, I kill niggas. Only reason why I ain't killing niggas because it's illegal, but if it was still legal, I'd still be killing niggas because they need to die. They ain't shit. Yeah, that bitch. You know, and he came up and asked some dumb shit like, you know, why is it okay for black people to say the nigga word, but it's not okay for white people to use the nigga word? Then did some dastardly low underhand shit using a Nipsey Hussle song, you know, using a sample and a clip showing Nipsey Hussle in the video saying the word nigga like he say in his songs, trying to compare the two. Like there's no comparing the two. There's no comparison. Like this is the farthest reach. Like this is the definition of a false equivalency. Whether black rappers can say nigga, 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 then she should be able to say nigga, nigga, nigga. No, we black, and we say it all the time. She actually said it as a threat. She wanted to hurt someone, harm someone. Every black man that says nigga ain't out to hurt somebody. To some, whether you agree or not, it is a term of endearment. It is a part of their vocabulary, period. And nobody's going to take that word away from them, whether you like it or not. But I finally know why, he goes out of his way to smite the black community. Brandon Tatum, the overseer. He's trolling. Remember, he starts most of his episodes now. He starts the episodes by saying, I know y'all gonna call me a coon, I know y'all gonna call me Uncle Tom, but fuck it. Go back and look at some of his videos and see how he starts it. Alright, I know y'all gonna call me a coon, I know y'all gonna call me Uncle Tom, but fuck it. So he loves the attention. And the benefactor of Brandon Tatum is Brandon Tatum. But here's why he goes out his way to disparage and disagree and separate himself from the black community. Guess who was on Fox News this week and got rewarded for the minstrel show? Officer Brandon Tatum. See, once he toes the line and keeps it out there, Brandon Tatum gonna keep getting about 3-4 butter biscuits a year. They're gonna keep putting them up there and giving them FaceTime. And as long as he's getting FaceTime on Fox News, he can go back in his personal life and his websites, his Facebook pages, his Patreon, his BitChute. Yeah, it's getting money. Simple and plain. The benefactor of Brandon Tatum is Brandon Tatum.
Solve the problem, they are police can't solve the problem. Police can't solve the problem, they are the problem. That quote from an op-ed in the New York Times condemning our law enforcement. And this comes as the number of officers shot and killed in the line of duty soars to 33 this year. Joining us to react is former Tucson police officer Brandon Tatum. Brandon, thank you so much for joining us on this topic today. I saw this op-ed coming out after this past weekend, a deadly weekend for officers, and it really was unbelievable and irresponsible. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely ridiculous, crazy, and cowardice to put out an op-ed like this, damaging the reputation of law enforcement. I feel like in this country, it has gone too far. Police officers have become the scapegoat of everybody's problems. When you're having a problem, you call the police, and when you are the problem, you blame the police. And that's exactly what they're doing. It's despicable. And if they want their cities to turn around and they want crime to stop, you better start respecting the police officers. You better start respecting them and better start funding them well.
Yeah, and I was going to say, not only are they blaming police officers, they're calling for cuts in funding. A couple portions from the op-ed. One of it says, police officers who primarily put people in cages are the enforcers of mass incarceration. The police are part of the problem, and stop investing money, power, and legitimacy in them. And then another part of the op-ed goes on to say the reality is the police fill prisons. They do not help vulnerable populations. They make populations vulnerable. As a former officer, what do you have to say about that?
This is the verbiage and language from cowards. The primary thing that we need to be focusing on is what needs to change in our communities, and that needs to be the responsibility of the police department. But here's what it is. I don't know why police officers get caught in the middle of this. Politicians are the ones that create the law. Citizens are the ones that break the law, and law enforcement is there to enforce the violations there. So if you don't want people incarcerated, then change the laws. Make marijuana legal. Make some of these criminal offenses that are putting people behind bars, make them legal, and police won't arrest them. But until then, what do you expect? If you want the crime to stop, you have to stop the perpetrators, and that's what the law enforcement officers out there doing.
We've seen all of these videos recently of officers just being completely disrespected, being doused with water, being yelled and screamed at and bullied. But with your experience, I know that you had said that, when officers are respected, that's when you saw some of your communities that you worked in thrive.
Yeah, because we have to work together. It's like a big family. And the police officers are there to protect and serve. And when people get out of line, we have to do our job. But other than that, we want to be proactive. We want to know what's going on in the community, and we need the people in the community to cooperate. And when that happens, I've been there. I've done that. I've been in the streets. When we work together, we can do a lot of things positively in the right direction, and crime normally goes down. But when you have people that hate the police, they don't want to cooperate, they have this code of not snitching, it's making the communities unsafe, and it's making it worse.
Yeah.
And I don't know why people haven't understood that by this point. You should respect the police officers, and we can work together and make it happen. But if you don't want to do that, you're going to end up with a poor and a bad city.
Yeah, dangerous for the communities and dangerous for the officers as well. And as we wrap up, I want to bring up the two pictures of the police officers who lost their lives just this past weekend. Our thoughts and prayers with all of their colleagues and their family and friends. Thank you so much for joining us, Brandon. We appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you better go ahead and get that merchandise from the Officer Tatum store. So, as you can see, this loony cooning that he does has incentives. You know, this whole non-threatening, total cooperation, racial politics, this shit get you a place on the Chitlin circuit. Very lucrative, I might add, with speaking engagements, you know, and town hall speeches, college campus tours. So we see these black mascots of the alt-right, these alt-smiters. Yeah, that also includes the Diamond and the Silks, Candace Owens, the ABLs. Yeah, we're not talking about some maple syrup college campus bullshit either. These are D1 universities. You know, like Arizona, where he's an alumnus. Missouri University. Look, UCLA. He going to Harvard. He going to Yale. He doing symposiums, election shindigs with big donors, and access to all the white pussy in the world. He ain't stupid. Yeah, let's get him whatever he want. It's the keys to these White House visits. These the keys to his guest spots on national TV and radio. When the racist Republicans want to do some racial politics, they call out the colored, well-funded mascots. So, Ilhan Omar, beware, because Officer Tatum is out for your head. These are the niggas that are used as the tip of the spear. The Crispus Addicts Project. Now, this harsh criticism is all in regards to his alt-smiting, when he allows himself to be the tip of the spear, to be used in the alt-right's racial politics. Besides that, he is correct. Black people's poor attitude towards law enforcement, their own property, their own communities, and the nigger attitude, that's the real problem. That no snitching in the streets, in and out of jail, baby mama culture, that's the real issue, not the police. The police are part of it. Rest in peace to the two officers that were slain in duty, senselessly. I agree with that.
Fuck them. He could have left that shit out.
That part.
Yeah.